Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is called Broken. A bolt of lightning hit me and I knew why. I tried to cut myself. Flashback to 4 years prior, 2012. Leaving church on a Sunday afternoon with my boyfriend of 4 months. After church, we went back to his parents' house, where normally we had lunch or he dropped me off in my car. Well, this day was different. He walked in the house and it was eerily quiet in there. The lights were off with the sun brightening up the house through the windows, and we were alone. We were sitting in the living room watching TV, and he asked me to go upstairs with him to help him do some laundry. That was in his room. He kind of jogged up the stairs, and I naively went right behind him. Didn't think anything of it. We've done the same thing before. Upon entering the room, he wrapped me into his arms and started kissing me. Granted, we were dating, he was my first love, and I gave him a kiss and kind of spun around to grab his laundry basket, which was behind me. When my back was to him, he was holding me around my waist, saying to me how much he wanted to have sex. I kind of giggled and told him, no, ha. And he must have thought I was joking, and he threw me on his bed. He must have thought I was joking, and this is what I was thinking as he lifted my sundress up above my knees. At this point, I realized he wasn't taking my no seriously. I leaned up, kind of on my elbows, and I said, "Hey, I'm being serious." No, I'm just trying to help you put away your laundry. And he crawled up the bed, and when I leaned up, I kind of pushed him off me, and he crawled back up the bed on top of me and pinned my arms down. Sorry. And he looked me in the eye and said, "But I want to." And that's when he forced himself on me. As I was laying there lifeless in the bed, scared and all alone. It was just kind of like I was floating above the scene, watching what was happening, because that really couldn't be me, could it? That couldn't be happening to me. And all I could think of was how God would be so mad for me for having sex on a Sunday. Even in that moment, I made myself the root of the problem. I was thinking about when this ends, I'm gonna stand up and bolt out that door. And I was like, please, someone see me. When he finally stood up after what seemed like an eternity, I stood up, I pulled my dress down, and I ran. Grabbed my shoes and I ran. I stumbled down the stairs and flew open the door and almost made it to my car. My fingers were inches from the door handle. I felt a tight grasp on my arm. He had caught up to me right before I could escape. When he snatched my arm, I screamed super loud. He lived in a neighborhood, so people could hear me. He told me to hush down. And I looked him straight in the eyes and tore him apart. I said, "How could you?" I've said no several times, and I pushed you away. I wasn't even moving. You know I don't have sex on Sundays, is what I said. I went on, "I love you, but I can't be with you. This is over. There's no way." Then he started bawling and pathetically fell to the ground and started apologizing. How he was so sad and he's so sorry. He just really wanted to, blah, blah, blah. And when you are 17 with your first love, you're kind of an idiot. And I told him, "I won't break up with you, but it better never happen again." And I was an idiot. Obviously. I trusted him. I gave my virginity to him. I loved him. And he raped me.